Hello, people. I want to talk to you for a few minutes about the 1%. Not the 1% of people at the top of financial or experiential or professional anything. Your personal 1%. This is something that I realized from the time I remember a story when I was a teenager. I took the SAT tests, which are these tests to get into college if you're in the United States, when you take them in high school. And first time I took them, I did good. Didn't have to take them again, but it was recommended to try, see if maybe I could do a little better. Second time I took them, I got super sick. I was like nauseous, almost throwing up, headache, wanted to go to sleep so bad. And these tests take like 3 hours to take. I'm sitting there in the middle of it, blowing my nose, filling up tissues, and I just wanted to crawl into bed. I couldn't wait for it to be over. I wanted to put my head down. I didn't want to finish it. I wanted to just scribble in any answers and just get it over with. But something inside me was like, you paid for it. You have to pay a little bit to take it usually. And you drove all the way down to this place to take it. You took half your day off. Nobody's going to pick you up any sooner. My parents were coming with the car at a certain time. So you might as well just do your best. And I did my best that I could do under the circumstances, feeling completely awful. And when I got the test scores back, I scored like 15, almost 20% higher on that second test than I had during the test when I was doing really great. I was this close. I was 1% away from totally giving up and saying, forget it. I just pushed myself through that extra 1%. That extra 1% changed my test scores, and that opened up a whole different range of colleges that I could go to that could change the course of what I ended up doing for years after that. And if you think about it, you probably can think about times in your life where you were just about ready to not do something. And at the last second, you just decided to do it, and you're so glad you did. You can also think about times where you were just about to do something, and you're like, nah. And then afterwards, you're like, oh, I should have done that. Oh, I should have done that. Oh, my goodness. Such an easy thing would have made so many good things happen. So I want you to think about that during a struggle, during a non-struggle. I was talking to my friend today, Dan, awesome dude. And we're talking about how like different things that we're, doing right now. And he was saying how this thing that gives him a lot of anxiety, for the longest time, he didn't do it at all, or he would resist doing it unless he absolutely had to. And then finally, he's like, forget this. I'm not going to let this thing beat me. But the key was he always thought, oh, I need to do like, a big chunk of this to really get back into it. And then he wouldn't do it. It was too much, and he would decide not to do it at all. And then you'd think sometimes, maybe I should do a little tiny bit. And a little tiny bit was a piece of cake. He could always do a little tiny bit, but that didn't seem like he was getting anywhere. Like, why do a little tiny bit? I can already do a little tiny bit. But finally, he's like, you know what? Let's forget this. I'm going to do the little tiny bit. So in his case, it was doing 2 minutes of this activity that was super intense, but 2 minutes he could handle. 5 minutes was like too intense, but 5 minutes seems like nothing. So every time he's like, I got to do 5 minutes. And then he'd be like, nah, maybe tomorrow. So finally, he's like, you know what? 2 minutes is easy. I know I can do 2 minutes. So he did the 2 minutes. And then it's like, well, that was easy. So the next day, he did 2.5 minutes. Well, that wasn't so bad. And the next day, he did 3 minutes. Okay, he got it. Next, 3.5. And like before he knew it, he built up to the 5 minutes. It wasn't scary at all. But if he had just like given up because it was too easy, which we do that too. We don't do things because, I can do that later. I don't need to worry about that now. Do it now. The little thing that you can do, just do it. Or this is a little too hard and this is a little too easy. I got to do the hard thing, but I don't know if I can. Just do the easy thing. Once you have one thing done, start to build confidence, and then the hard thing doesn't look so hard. So every day at 1%, That little edge where you're like, say you're at 88% of something and you want to get to 100, but you only have enough energy to push it to 89, and that just seems like nothing. Push it to 89. Every time, next time, stop right now. Think about something that you've been wanting to do. Like maybe you want to exercise and you haven't gotten into it because joining a gym is a trouble, or driving all the way to the gym. Maybe you already have a gym membership. Just do 5 push-ups right now. Or if you don't do push-ups, 5 jumping jacks, 5 sit-ups, 5 of picking up a basket of laundry and just lifting it up and putting it down, picking it up, just squatting with no weight. Just bend down, get up, bend down, get up, 5 times. Drink a bottle of water. Suddenly you're going to feel, ooh, it feels kind of good. 5 was easy. Let me try 7. I can do 10. Let me do 10. Okay, I'm done. That's good for today. When in your mind you're thinking, I'll never be healthy unless I'm doing like 100 a day and doing all these other things, and you imagine yourself like at this different stage, and doing teeny tiny things just doesn't seem it could ever get to the huge mountain. But that's how you climb a mountain, one step at a time. It's like a cliche, but we don't do it. And that's the difference of our lives 10 years from now. That's the difference of, whether we really built ourselves towards what we wanted to be, or we just didn't. Those tiny little moments. Take yours right now. Do a tiny little thing. And if you can, squeeze in 1 more. But don't think about 2 right now. Just do 1. Just 1. See you guys.